The Asia Cup is here and India are without a doubt the favourites to win this trophy again. But I will say one thing though, because this is happening in the UAE of all places, I'm going to give some other teams an outside shot to really upset India in this tournament. To start off with a team who I've been thinking about them a bit last night, then this morning, and then something quite extraordinary happened today. Yes, I'm talking about Sri Lanka. Bowled out for 80 by Zimbabwe. Yes, we're not going to speak too much about Zim. I feel like they're a team on the rise. They're growing and growing. They've always had really good bowlers. And well, yeah, the Sri Lankan batting lineup was exposed today. And look, if we look at the squad here, there's just no name for me that really screams T20 cricket, game changer, X factor. If you look at some of the other bigger teams, they've got those names. Now in the bowling department, yes, of course, Sri Lanka, they're going to be very, very, very effective. But here's the thing, and Sri Lanka needs to count themselves lucky, or do they? But look, they've got the easier group, okay? Because if we put maybe perhaps UAE into their group, I wouldn't put it past UAE to beat Sri Lanka, especially in the UAE kind of like conditions. But Bangladesh is also in that group. I'm not giving Bangladesh a very big chance, but I do think Afghanistan is going to beat Bangladesh. The other thing I will say though, is that Afghanistan, they're playing all of their teams in Abu Dhabi, whereas which I feel that the Dubai surface suits Afghanistan a lot more. So that could come into play. But Sri Lanka also faces Bangladesh at Abu Dhabi. I think that could maybe perhaps suit Bangladesh. Let me know what you think. For me, Sri Lanka's spinning attack, absolutely fantastic. Sri Lanka, they've got great fast bowlers too, but here's the thing. The batting lineup just doesn't scream T20 prowess to me. So in that group, I'm going to go with Afghanistan and I'm going to go with Sri Lanka, but I'm not going to put it past Bangladesh to actually go out and beat Sri Lanka, especially after this loss today against Zimbabwe. I just feel like that batting lineup, you know, especially perhaps even if they have to chase a score, if Bangladesh goes and makes a big score, I'm not going to put it past them. But for me, I'm just going to go with the safe option here and say Sri Lanka and Afghanistan in that group. Now, the much tougher group, UAE, you know, they've also been a team on the rise. This first group that we've got here that's got India and Pakistan in it. Because Pakistan have been so convincing for me against the UAE, I'm going to put Pakistan through with India. But if UAE, if they were in that other group, I might have gone for this little big prediction and I might have said they would go through. But Pakistan have just been a little bit too convincing against the UAE. Tough match for India, their first match against the UAE. The UAE, they've got some X-factor players. You know, their captain, he's been amazing. Asif, the bowlers have been really, really good. Good spinning attacks, some really nice fast bowlers. That young guy, we're going to pop him up here. He was fantastic. So I think they're going to play really, really well. I just don't know if they've got enough to take down India. Although it's India's first match, right? Rustiness, it's been feeling like ages since India have been playing cricket. So who knows? But they've been playing domestically, right? So who knows what can happen there? But that's going to be my top four. And here's where things get very interesting. I think Afghanistan is really going to start thriving in this Super 4 stages. Okay, so now we can look a little bit more in depth in this team. Afghanistan has been a team that has made their name by playing brave cricket, backing their strengths. Something that annoyed me in that first match, Pakistan versus Afghanistan, the very first match in the tri-series that those two played against each other. What annoyed me a little bit there is that, you know, you're playing in Sharjah. We all know it's gonna favour the spinners. Even yesterday against the UAE. Okay, if Afghanistan just played one extra spinner, if Rashid Khan was playing, I don't think it would have been such a close match. Afghanistan's strength is really going at it with all of those spinners. So for me, if they have 4 spinning options, if they're going to be brave enough and bowl 15 to 16 overs, especially at Dubai, at India, at Pakistan, at Sri Lanka, anything can happen. So I want to see them playing brave cricket. Now, India v Pakistan, that's obviously also a big match that I know a lot of people are looking forward to. I do think Pakistan has improved quite a bit. I do think the fact that the matches being played at Dubai is also perhaps a little bit more favourable for Pakistan, but I still think India, they've got more than enough to beat Pakistan. But here's the thing, if things pan out the way that a lot of people think they're going to pan out, and it's going to be India v Pakistan 3 times in this tournament, all the way to the 28th of September, who knows if something, we're going to have to call it crazy, because India is the team to beat in this format. They're the best in the world at this format, the T20 format. Who knows, perhaps something crazy can happen. I feel like Pakistan, their power play batting has improved immensely. You know, they've gone for a very different approach. That's been one of the crutches in the past for Pakistan, is that they always have to play catch up. Even when they're setting targets, it feels as though they're playing catch up. But I do feel like that's improved a lot. Fakhar Zaman is also there. The man is an absolute game changer. And look, the bowling attack, I really like the look of Muqeem. I think they've got some mystery spin in that lineup that's going to be really useful in Dubai. With Ali Agha, the captain now, you know, they can actually have 4 spinning options. If the surface, you know, if it's conducive to spin, that's a very possible route for them to go. Shaheen Shah, Afridi, Harris Rauf also looked amazing in this tri-series. So Pakistan is on the rise. Are they on the rise at the right time, or is it happening fast enough? I'm not quite convinced by that. Then we've got Sri Lanka. I'm not pegging them to go to the final. I'm not actually pegging them to win any matches in that Super 4. Shoot me now, I don't know. That's just my feeling. I don't think that batting lineup is good enough. I think the bowling lineup can be up there against the best in the world. I just do not really trust that batting lineup to set a target, you know, against Zim and to chase something down. 170, 180, I'm going to struggle to believe that they could chase that down against the bowling attack that is India, Pakistan and Afghanistan. So let me know if you disagree with me on that. I'm a big fan of Sri Lankan cricket. I think that batting unit is tailor-made for ODI cricket. We saw how good they were against India in Sri Lanka, but I'm just not quite sure about this, about having those same guys. It's a very similar thing with Afghanistan. I also think that batting lineup, a lot of them are tailor-made, but here's the difference. They've brought in Sadiq, I think is his name, the left-handed batter who's been starting. Rasuli looks an absolute bruiser. He looks like somebody who can smack a ball out of the park, in the arc, out of the park, as David Miller would say. He looks like that kind of unit. So they've got some guys in there now, which they didn't have in the past in their T20 lineup. Zadran is also in really good form. Gurbaz has not been firing. But I do think there's enough in there. And here's the thing, they are the most threatening spinning attack. I'm not saying they're the best bowling lineup in this tournament, okay? But I will say that they are the most threatening spinning attack in this tournament. So if there's a score of a 160, 150, and Afghanistan needs to defend it, do you know how many times they've done that over the last few years in both the T20 and the ODI format? Like below par scores, they've been able to defend it. It is in their DNA. It is how they play. It's how they're going to do it. So with that reason, and I'm sure that today's Tri-Series final is also gonna play a big part in how this Asia Cup is also probably going to pan out. But I do think that Afghanistan, I do think that they will go through and that they will face India in that final. But here's the thing with Afghanistan is that they're a team that a lot of circumstances need to fall into place. And here's the thing with India, okay? Even without the likes of Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they've got talent abundance in this format. Like it is absolutely something crazy, to the point where they could probably field 3 to 4 teams and they could be competitive against the best in the world. So if you are going to be in that final and if you are going to play against India, which I think we can say that India is going to make the final. Can something happen in this tournament? You know, a bit of rustiness with India's cricket? Yeah, sure. Of course, a surprise can happen. There's a lot of good teams in this tournament. It's going to be very competitive, but I do feel like they've got enough in there. They've got the experience of Kuldeep Yadav, Chakravarti, Sky. You know, Tilak Varma has been absolutely amazing there. Shubman Gill is in there now as well. Sanju Samson, if he's going to play, we've already had this discussion. Some say he will, some say he won't. there's so much ability and talent and experience in there as well, mixed with some young talent. I did say Abhishek Sharma as well. So I do think that there's enough. But when it comes to a pressure situation like the final, that's where I feel like things could get quite interesting. I feel that if Afghanistan, if they bat first, it's going to be at Dubai as well, which I do think favors Afghanistan more to play at that venue than at Abu Dhabi. If they bat first, if they get 160, they're in the game. If they get 180, I think it's going to be very tough for India to chase down 180. Okay, I'm not even sure if Dew is going to play a part. It didn't play a part. Did it play a part at Sharjah, guys? I don't remember now. Please, that's probably important to know that. But 180, very, very tough. If Afghanistan plays 4 spinners on top of that, if they're going to bowl 15 to 16 overs, I think it's going to be very, very, very tough for India. But like I said, if you want to beat India, absolutely everything has to go right.